I bring my ability to, just what I said, just use what I have and use it as an asset, as far as the business and professional experience. I've dealt with a lot of professionals in my lifetime, a lot of people in a lot of different levels, and that's where I got to where the personnel thing goes, how to handle certain situations. I thought it was handled incorrectly. I would have handled it differently, and that is my opinion.
Okay. What I bring to the table is, and I think of myself as a successful woman. I'm a single parent, I have 2 children. I know what it's like to stretch a dollar, believe me, I know. So I think of when I come into government, when I'm looking at the finances, I have to be able to sleep at night knowing that my decisions that I make is going to benefit the thousands that we have in town. I mean, because I think of them as part of my neighbors and my families. You know, if this is going to impact me and my budget, I know what a strain it's going to be on other individuals. What I would do differently, though, is I would put all the financial transactions actually on the borough website for the public to view, and I would also have the agendas posted prior to the actual meetings, and we would actually video the actual council meetings to be posted, possibly live stream them when we have the meetings.
Okay, so again, I'm looking for some personal attributes, things you could bring to bear, and some procedural things.
The thing that I can bring is my personality, my listening skills, my organizational skills, and I would leave my personal issues at home when I walked into the council room.
Okay.
You need to be there for the town, not for yourself, and not for your own agenda. What I would change, one procedure I would change, is I would get 3 bids and 3 estimates for any work being done in the borough.
Okay, getting some real suggestions to write down. Go ahead.
Mine is that, as I said, when I worked for PennLive for over 20 years, but as in that time period, I was a union president. I know a lot of people get scared when you say union president, but you got to understand something. As a union president, you have to listen to everybody that's within your local. You have to, no matter what, you have to make the decision that is going to best benefit them, okay? And in this case, when I was on council before, I never had anybody say to me, if you called me, I never returned your phone call. If you called me, I was at your house in 5 minutes. And there's some people here that know that to be true. You can always get me on the phone. I'm really accessible. Don't try and get me on social media because it's not working. Right. Anyway, but the thing that I really have a hard time with this council right now is the amount of money they spend on professionals in 1 year's time. Last year alone, on one issue, they spent almost $500,000 on that leasing program. That was just the attorneys. When we start talking about, okay, and that's just the attorney, I think, for the borough. I'm not sure where the attorney, and he's from the same law firm, the attorney for the borough authority and the borough council. The solicitors are from the same firm. So just for that, they spent almost $500,000.
Okay.
They spent in excess of almost $250,000 to Susquehanna Group, all on the leasing, because the
I'm not going to let that go where there's what I would suggest to you is that, again, misinformation. What was the source of revenue for those professionals being paid, Rochelle?
I didn't ask you that. I just know.
You're saying that we spent money,
You
but
did.
what was the source of that revenue?
Now, not all of it was grants.
No.
No.
You're saying that we, this present council, spent over $500,000
Yes.
on these professionals and then another $250,000. What was
Right.
the source of that revenue?
Did you guys tell us where the money came from?
I'm asking, you're making the allegation.
I'm making the allegation based
Where
on
did
what
it come
you
from?
said.
So do you know where it came from? That was a culmination of the upfront payment of the $43 million, just like the projects that are going on right now. And those were those professionals' fees for their service over the last year that Councilman Capstan led the effort to lease the water and sources.
How can you pay for something up front without knowing how much you're actually going to spend?
I I don't think you understand.
I didn't.
You're
maybe I didn't.
suggesting we spent the money, what do you mean paying up front? It was a $43 million deal, everything was laid out in the open. That was the professionals' fees for those services. It wasn't, don't put it out there like it was the taxpayers' money that this council spent on those professionals. That's not accurate.
Well, if that was the case, why didn't they say that that's where the money came from? When I asked point blank, where are you getting, where's the money coming from? They did not say different. They
Okay.
did not say it was coming out of the 43 million.
Go ahead.
I think majority of everything, one of the things I feel I could bring years ago, I was part of a leadership development networking business. And I remember a lot of what was in it, and a lot of it does go back to listening to what people say, but at the same time, you need to acknowledge them, not just blow them off, not just pick and choose who you're gonna respond to. You need to address every concern that every person brings forward to you. As you just saw, just now and everything, she mentioned a time where she asked a question at council, more information just came out now. And I even saw a couple people sitting there shaking their head like, yeah, we didn't even know about that.
That's right.
So when information's getting brought out more like a shotgun blast, a little bit here, a little bit there, how is anyone truly supposed to know what's going on and then question and not question, well, how do we know they're being upfront? How do we know there ain't something going on?